watching some Wang. Yo, Shadow Warrior 2. I've been wanting to play this game for a long time. It popped up on Game Pass, and even then I sat for a long time before I got to it. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get around to this before it pops off Game Pass. Hell, Shadow Warrior 3 is on its way now. I mean, I guess. So I'm like, yeah, bro, we gotta get some of this shit. And I remember enjoying the Shadow Warrior reboot back in the day. What was that, 2014 or some shit like that? But yo, Lil Wang's back, and there's a story or some shit. It continues from the first one. I don't remember the first one, and I don't give a shit about the second one. I just wanted to hear Lil Wang crack some wise-ass jokes. It's, hell, that made the story worth it. Tricky was just great. It's great. And, well, the reboot was basically just, you know, a level-based type thing with a little story on it. Lots of cool weapons and enemies and shit. This one's more of a lootery type shootery. They've definitely been playing some Borderlands. Some of that's not too hot. You get lots of cool mods and stuff for your guns. Like you'll be able to dual wield pistols, or you know, a shotgun mod that'll shoot all the shells of the shotgun in one go. I think if you really stuck around and get off the table, Brian, you drive me nuts. But I think if you really sit around and made a specific build around it, you know, it would probably be good. But I felt a lot of those, like they had penalties in them, like a high miss or a high reload time or something like that. And I didn't feel it was perfect, you know, honestly worth it. The weapons that drop, there's tons and tons of weapons. Some of them are pretty much upgrades over the other ones, but a lot of them are like, well, you know, this is more of a burst type thing, or this one's, you know, decent damage with good for ammo. So it's similar to Borderlands. It's nowhere near as extensive. Overall, I thought the guns were pretty damn fun to use. Like this bow right here, it was pretty fun to use, and it actually shares ammo types with railguns, which is kind of ridiculous. So, but hey, it worked. It did working pretty good. There's a lot of elements and stuff, so you know. There's like 4 different elements, and you know, this enemy might be on fire, so probably means he's weak to ice and basic stuff like that. And you have the mods will allow you to customize each gun, you know, so you can turn it to whatever element you want to. So if you wanted the machine gun type to be poisoned, it's no problem at all. The enemies themselves was kind of weak in my opinion, because they're just bullet spongy. They just most of them just kind of run basically straight towards you. There's a couple of guys who shoot machine guns and stuff like that, and when you get close, some of them will block your attacks or they'll push you back, because yo, Lil Wang is still a beast mode when he hits a melee weapon, especially if you've got the mods to keep the damage high enough, or you know, you get life back. And there's a couple of special skills where he can just spin around and hit all the enemies and stuff. In the first reboot, you could just honestly run melee only and just be a complete asshole if you wanted to. It was not really difficult game, and just go ape shit, go nuts. And then with this game, it takes a little bit more to set up, because you have these like skill card type things, and it's essentially skills, and you put points into the cards as you can buy or unlock the cards. And there was one where I think it was, I think it's like called Greed or something like that, where it allows you to pick up medikits from far away. And then there's another thing that makes medikits drop real often. I'm like, as someone who played through the first Shadow Warrior, I'm looking at that as like, you know what? Chances are when you get in melee combat, you're just smashing buttons like a retard, and you can't see nothing but enemy crotches the whole time, which is that's exactly the way it ended up happening. But you get enough medikits dropping, you just go in and go ape shit insane, and yeah, that's exactly what you could do. It's also got, I cannot remember the, I think it's just called a rage mode or something like that, but you just press Z button when you get enough rage points, and you just kind of go, it's very, very painkiller. Like the whole screen will go like a damn white or whatever, and the enemies be red, and you just destroy their asses. Very fun. And so you use that and you can have a melee build. It takes a little bit of work to get there. I still use a decent amount of guns too. Kind of annoying that I don't know if you were just missing, but I was like hitting headshots straight on, and it was like sometimes not counting. I'm like, what the fuck's going on there? Some of the guns have a miss stat to them that you can try to counteract by adding, you know, there's things that'll cancel it out and stuff. There's also you don't get like armor type equipment, but you'll get like I guess little gems or whatever, and you'll have like an armor slot or whatever, and you can put 3 gems, so you can kind of make your own armor as well. And it ends up being you can make a damn guy who's just badass. But the game is not very hard. Another little notch against it is that there isn't many levels. They're mostly about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 levels, and they're kind of opened up. They're just really large areas, and so you use these levels over and over again for whatever, whether you're on a side mission or a main mission, and you know they might lock a door or some shit, and you have to go get a key in certain areas. But they're really just the same levels that are just built and designed, and they, you know, kind of playground type things, and you just put enemies in it. It ends up kind of like you might walk for several minutes with nothing happening, and then you might be in a firefight with a set of elite enemies or some shit for you know, like 5 minutes or whatever, and you use most of the bullets in your gun to take care of them. They usually will reward you when you kill the boss. They're going to give you a nice gun, or you know, some kind of nice mod or something like that. Now, I did not play any of this online because I do not believe the Game Pass version has online, which is kind of shitty. But that's not, I'm not really going to notch that against the game. But honestly, personally, I was wanting, you know, basically a follow-up to the first Shadow Warrior, which for the most part you got. And if you could go through this probably in about 8 or 9 hours if you just mainline it. I'm hearing that How Long to Beat has it at 15 if you do everything. After you beat it, there's more difficulty modes. I mean, maybe you probably needed it because I played it on Who Wants a Wang, which is like one notch from the highest available to start with. And I died like twice against bosses, and then as far as I could tell, I respawned with like no penalty right there at the boss and was able to get them again. Yo, I'm not that good of a player, Brian, but the game's easy. The first Shadow Warrior reboot was easy as well. And so if you've played the original Shadow Warrior back in the day, or you're just wanting like something mindless and stupid, this is it. Now, it retails 40 as, I believe it's 40. It's the regular price. That's definitely not worth it, especially these days. They go on deep get discounts on Steam. Of course, it's on Game Pass for, I guess, a little bit longer. But we're going to give it, Brian's going to give it 1 paw up because we like the guns. We like the modding for the most part, although it's a little clunky in the menus. But Big Kitty, she felt that there wasn't much very going on here, and so she's not going to give it any paws. We're paws down, so 1 paw up. And so, if you like this review, I'll have another one next Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. So, you know, give me a comment, the likes, ring my dinger dong bell, and we'll be back next week. Yo, I'm out.